and welcome to Solo con Melissa. If you are new here, my name is Melissa and I love to sew. Therefore, I upload sewing related videos. So I hope you stay tuned until the end of this video, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber and you follow me on Instagram, then you know what this video is about. I hope I make sense and I hope you enjoy my little story. So while I go ahead and tell you my spooky little story, I am going to be transforming this oversized men's shirt into a shirt for my son, and I'm going to actually use the McCow's pattern, the button up, the M6548. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about what happened to me at the age of 18 over on Jasper Butte Drive. I think that's the name of the street. So I am just going to cut it up. When I was 18, I basically didn't live with my parents anymore. When I was 17, there was just a lot going on. Once I turned 18, I got my license, and like 2 days later, I left. I was just done with being at home with my parents. Once I left, I spent like 4 or 5 months of that year living from room to room, house to house, and having different kinds of roommates. There's one sleeve. I worked at Filiberto's. You can buy burritos there. A customer who did tattoos, he was like, yo, you know, I got a spot that I'm living at if you're looking for a place. Because I was kind of telling him where I was living at. They were kind of just taking my money, and I didn't really have my own room, and all my stuff was still in the garage, but they were charging me like a full room's rent. And this dude was like, yeah, Melissa, like, just come at this spot, like, you just gotta talk to so-and-so, and then you'll live there. And then I was like, okay, cool. So everything ended up working out, and I moved into this house, right? That house was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a 4-bedroom house. Here's the next sleeve. And I moved in, and needless to say, like, the next few months were just intense. First of all, let me talk about my room that I rented, okay? My room, the bed, was a hospital bed. And there was different things about the house that I noticed. Like, some doors were wider. Like, the bathrooms were made for, like you can step in for, like patients that are going through hospice. There was, you know, elderly people that did pass away in that house, and they weren't negative, they weren't bad, but whenever something like that happens in a home, I feel like there's always some kind of presence or aura in the home, and I always feel like there's something that feels off about that home because of the energy in it. You know what I mean? That house, I don't want to say it was like a flop house. It was just a bunch of young people living together in a house, and none of us were going to school. Like, all of us were just working and trying to figure out what to do with ourselves. So there's a lot of energy flowing through the house. You know what I mean? So because there's all this energy, like, a lot of weird stuff started happening to me. And I kept, like, wondering if it was just happening to me or what. But a lot of weird things. And I'll never forget this night, okay?
Here I realized that I was basically almost done with the story. I know I took a long time to set the scene, but be patient with me, you guys. I promise that it will get a little creepy. And I am also just taking out the pattern pieces, moving some things around. I grabbed both of the sleeves and then just cut smaller sleeves for my son's little shirt. Then I matched I cut out the notches. I also did something different as well because the shirt that I bought is had like the buttonholes on it and stuff. I used the back piece. I fold the back piece in half, and then I cut the back piece for my son's little shirt. But for the button part, I'll show you right now. I cut it a little bit differently because I didn't need to fold it anymore, just because I didn't want to sew a whole new button placket, you know what I mean? And I could just use the one that's already sewn on there. So then where the center front is on, or the center fold is for the button placket on this pattern, that's where I placed it, and that's where I cut it out. I cut out the notches, and yeah, I guess the rest is just self-explanatory. And yeah, enjoy a little bit of music while you watch, okay?
So just to catch up, okay, just to do a whole summarization here, or people had passed away in the house that I was living at. There was a bunch of young kids living there, a bunch of random people coming in and out of that house all the time, and my room was one of the rooms where someone passed away, and I was sleeping in the bed, in a hospital bed. I'm not sure if that's the bed that the person actually passed away in, but that's where I was sleeping. So one night I was sleeping. Do you guys know what that sleep paralysis is? Well, that's kind of what was going on with me. Oh, cool. I won't even need to, I think I'll just have to add 2 buttonholes to this. Awesome. If you don't know what that is, it's when you're basically like sleeping, but you're screaming in your head, trying to make yourself wake up, okay? I'm working on the sleeves right now. I'm yelling at myself, wake up. You're awake. Wake up. And I'm yelling and I'm yelling and I'm yelling. Stay with me, you guys. Bed is in the middle, okay? So let's say here's the bed, okay? So here's the bed, whatever, but you sleep on it like this, you know? But I went ahead, before I end up burning myself, I went ahead, so here's the long end of the bed. I went ahead and laid like this, okay? My feet were hanging off the side end of the bed. My feet were hanging, like, and my knees were bent, so the bed was up to my knees, and this, I was sleeping like this. Jesucristo had me. I felt at this end of the bed, right here, okay? I felt something dark coming up like this. Like I could, even now, I could feel how this presence was moving on the bed. You know, just dark shadow. And I could feel the bed, like, because I was in that sleep paralysis. Wake up, blah, blah, blah. She said, oh my God, you know, wow, I had never felt anything like that. I'm still attaching the sleeve. But needless to say, obviously, you know, I did end up waking up, but I did feel like that presence touched like my inner thigh. Like it like touched my inner thigh, kind of like, you know what, like that. Like I felt that kind of. And then I woke up, and when I woke up, I felt like a sense of adrenaline. When, like, I was still laying exactly the same. I felt like I was frozen, and I woke up, and all of a sudden, from like my, all the way to like my toes up to like the toppest part of my head, I just felt like vroom, like this sense of adrenaline, and I got the hell out of my room. Let me attach these sleeves and attach the collar real quick, and I'll be right back. So here's the shirt. Here's what I have so far. I already sewed on the sleeves, and it's a cute little button up using my new tailor's hem. If you know, you know on Instagram. If you don't follow me, follow me. Follow me. Even she thinks you should follow me right here. Okay, so I got up and I like ran. Tell me why in the living room, okay? In the living room, I see both of my roommates. And they're both like, they're looking at me like, what the is wrong with this, you know? And I literally, let me see if I could do this. So my roommates are looking at me, and I'm literally like this on the front door. I have 1 foot outside of the house and 1 foot in the house, and I was like shaking. I was crying. I was like, I can't go in this house. And I was a mess, okay? When they finally calm me down and I sit on the couch and I'm trying to relax, they're just like, you know what the crazy thing is, Melissa? Like, I swear to God, we were just reading the Bible. I'm sorry. What were you doing? But they were reading the Bible because one of them wanted to share a passage that he felt strongly with, and I think it was something in the Revelations. I guess that's where it talks about like the end of the earth or the end of the world, or I honestly don't know. I will say that the people that did pass away, I don't think it was ever them that were doing anything. I just think that because they passed away in that home, they opened kind of a doorway for positive and negative energy to like kind of skew around the house. Those memories with all of my friends, I wouldn't take back. I don't know. They're just, you know, you're young, wild, and free. But then I became a young mom. So it ended briefly. That is my story, and all I need to do is hem the bottom of this shirt, and I will go ahead and try it on my son. Here is my son's costume, you guys. I'm still not done with it. Turn around, big guy. I'm still not done with it, and he does have a shirt underneath. He will be wearing black shoes, and I will probably draw something on the back of his shirt today. But I just wanted to finish it, and he's ready to take it off. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. So remember how I said that I felt like the energy or whatever it was, I felt it like touch my inner thigh, like I think I slept in the living room that night, but I woke up the following day, and when I went to go take a shower in the morning, and I noticed that there was a bruise of a handprint, but it wasn't like a large handprint. It was like a small handprint like this, like the size of a child, like a very small, odd looking handprint bruise. Like it, I don't know what it was. I'm gonna leave you guys thinking whatever it is. But yeah, on that note, bye again. Fucking shit.